What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more David Bowie, as well as a very silly Luca. And we're returning to the 1969 self-titled album, though I have to be clear, there was that previous track where there was a bit of a radio broadcast introduction. I did not get these albums myself. Big shout out to Judith, who made available a number of David Bowie albums. So I don't know the provenance of each and every one of these tracks in the folders. So if there's another one that's not the original version that was on the album, but is like a later live recording or something, I get that. Please tell me. Obviously, I'd like to know the nature of each one of the tunes that I listen to, but that's not really in my control, and that I have these folders with the albums, but I don't know, again, exactly what they were ripped from. So bear with me as we go through them if that happens again. You're a weird one, Luca. But yes, the next track in the folder, presumably on the album as well, is, and I want to make sure I get this right, The Wild-Eyed Boy from Freecloud. I really like the phrase. It's, a bit of a mouthful, but it certainly suggests an attitude or a disposition. To be wild-eyed is to be a bit outside the norm, to be a bit wild or unhinged or flush with emotion, maybe zeal. And then Freecloud, it's a word I've actually seen in some places, but I do wonder the original usage or context. But yes, to be a cloud is to be up in the sky, floating in a way that we terrestrial creatures can only see from afar. And then to say free cloud seems like it's even more this idea of something that is capricious or mercurial. It just goes wherever the winds are blowing. So yes, the Wild-Eyed Boy from Freecloud, it sounds like the name of some parable or fairy tale or some fantastical story where things that exceed reality or are characterized by magical processes. It feels like something on that level. So let's see what it is in practice. This is David Bowie. The tune is The Wild-Eyed Boy from Freecloud, and it's included in a folder I have for his 1969 self-titled album.
Solemn-faced, the village settles down, undetected by the stars, and the hangman plays the mandolin before he goes to sleep. And the last thing on his mind is the wild-eyed boy in prison 'neath the covered wooden shop. Folds the rope into its back, blows his pipe of smoulders, blankets smoke into the room, and the day will end for some as the night begins for one. Staring through the message in his eyes lies a solitary sun from a mountain called Freecloud, where the eagle dare not fly. And the patience in his sigh gives no indication for the townsman to decide. So the village dreadful yawns, pronouncing gross diversion as the label for the dog. Oh, it's the madness in his eyes, 'cause he breaks the night to cry. It's really me, really you and really me. It's so hard for us to really be really you and really me. Yeah. Don't lose me, though I'm always really free. And the mountain moved its eyes to the world of realize, where the snow had saved the place for the wild-eyed poet Freecloud. And the village dreadful cried as the road began to rise, for the smile stayed on the face of the wild-eyed poet from Freecloud. And the woman once proud cuts the heart of the crowd as the boulder smashed down from the mountain's hand. And the magic in the stare of the wild-eyed boy said, "Stop, Freecloud, they won't think to cut it down." But the cottages fell like a playing card hell, and the tears on the face of the wise boy came trembling down to the rumbling ground, and the missionary mystic of peace love stumbled back to cry among the clouds. Kicking back the pebbles from the Freecloud mountain track.
Wow.
For the rest of the programme, along with an astonishing number of friends, David Bowie. Now this is going to be incredibly complicated, so I want you to take notes. And at the moment he's accompanied by Mark Carr Pritchard on guitar. Now Mark is with a group called Arnold Corns, who have a single called Moon Age Daydream, which nobody on the BBC has played at all, which is a great pity. And that's that, yes. And then there's Mick Ronson on lead guitar, and Mick Woodmansey on drums, and Trevor Boulder on bass. And they're all members of a group called Rono. Now Rono are going to be making an LP fairly soon, and David is going to be involved in that in some way or another. And David played 12-string guitar on that, and the other member of Rono is called Benny Marshall, although they told me to say it was Betty Marshall, but it's not. So I hope you got all of that clear anyway. And for this next one, it's the same lineup, mercifully, except David goes over to the piano, and it appears to be called Bombers.
So that was another one. Through the song itself, it didn't sound like a live, studio audience ambience. So I was thinking it was one of the album tracks, but given that ending, I guess that was indeed another one that was part of this later performance of some of the material on the BBC. So yeah, ultimately I was mesmerized by the poetic storytelling, but I didn't catch all the lines. Okay, so it's like it's first he's describing this village, and I was like, wait, did he say the hangman? And then it's like, oh, he's not. The last thing he's thinking of as he goes to bed is this wild-eyed boy from Freecloud who's like in the prison downstairs or something, and it's like, oh wait, so like he's in captivity, or he's been arrested, maybe condemned to death. And then it's talking about Freecloud as this mountain where eagles don't dare to fly, and then it was like it was seemingly personifying the mountain. It's throwing boulders down onto this town. But then there was also a reference to like pebbles coming from Freecloud, or like the trails on Freecloud. So it and I think we heard reference specifically to magic and there was like, I think, mystical in there. So definitely it seems like this larger than life magical story, but maybe a bit darker than I was thinking, or at the very least I think there's maybe a contrast between someone that's in captivity and or condemned to death relative to the freedom, again, up on this mountain, or this, you know, rarefied place that's so different from what these people down in the village know. So I look forward to hearing people give insight. But yes, I caught snippets of the lyrics, and it does seem like it's a very fantastic tale, but I just don't quite know all of the dimensions or all of the details. So I'll look forward to that. But I enjoyed his vocals, some nice extensions. Definitely a song where the Sonics felt like they were allowing the vocals and the lyrics to lead the way. It's like, you know, they were smooth, and, you know, there's some moments where they did flourish, but by and large, I found myself within that sonic sphere, but really keyed into the vocals and the lyrics such as I caught them. So yeah, a really interesting one. Again, I'm guessing now that that wasn't actually the original recording for the album, but a later performance, at least in front of a studio audience. I mean, it didn't sound like a big concert. It sounded, again, like a radio broadcast with some people like in the studio watching. But either way, a very enjoyable tune. And again, his ability to weave a scene with Sonic's vocals and lyrics, I think, comes across even when I don't get all of the details, even when I don't have a clear sense of the story from beginning to end, or the scene setting and all its corners and details. But yes, another top tune. Luca agrees. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.